Well, I don't post Instagram stories for you. I post them for me, so I could rewatch them 1,000 times for 24 hours. I don't care who's seen it. I watch them, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, you keep lying to yourself, princess. I mean, you did try to lie to all of us and it didn't work, but maybe you will manage to convince yourself. Because you know, you have something in your phone you can watch 1,000 times without posting it online, but I'm sure you did post it online just for you to watch.
Genuine question, are the UK men not embarrassed, or actually men of the West? Aren't you so embarrassed that women are now moving to the Middle East to find better men? Middle Eastern men are actually stunting on the men in the West. Like, we are moving across the world to find better men because you men are just such princesses and we can't deal with it anymore. You have no sense of providing. And this isn't about being a gold digger. Like, I buy everything on myself and I'm happy to do that. But this is about more than that. This is about you guys actually being men. Like, you're little princesses. Crazy to me. Have a think about it. Maybe change. Maybe change. My advice is change. Learn a thing or two from the Middle Eastern man.
Sure, okay, but give them some examples. What exactly they should learn? What would be those one or two things they need to change or they need to learn? Oh yeah, and Middle East is kind of a big place. Which countries are you talking about exactly? Which ones would be more appealing to you? But hey, love is love, right? And if Sharia law is something that you would be falling in love with, sure, why not? You can go to some of those countries and find yourself a provider man.
I just asked a girl who her surgeon was for her boob job, and she opened the message, liked it, and left me on scene. I fear hot girls do gatekeep. Honestly, the liking the message for me was more disrespectful than if she would have just left me on scene, because it's like, thank you, but no. She basically said go f yourself, but it's been like 15 minutes. Do you think she's gonna reply, guys?
Well, she didn't. According to the captions on her video, she did not, and that got her pretty upset. And I would be pretty upset too if I thought a girl is hot just because she had a boob job, even though maybe she did not. No way to know for sure. But all I've got from this video is girls are supporting each other at all times.
This is going to sound crazy, but my fiance and I have a contract that he has to sign and acknowledge and like go through before we will ever have a baby together. It's just a list on my phone of things that I've noticed that, you know, husbands don't do for women, especially women who bear them children. And so when I see things like that, things that would hurt my feelings if I were a mom and my husband neglected to do these things or did things that were not great, it would make me sad and it would hurt my relationship with my husband. So I compiled a list of these things and I just keep it and I keep adding to it. And the deal will be before we decide we're going to have children, if we decide to make that choice, we're still not sure. Before we decide, he's going to take a read through it. We're going to discuss everything, discuss expectations, discuss the why behind these things. And when he feels like he understands, he'll sign it. And we won't have the contract to like whip out, you know, every time he doesn't do something. I'm not going to be like, well, you signed the contract, you have to do it. It's more of a conversation starter. It's more of just like an agenda for the discussion we will have pre-making that decision and like kind of a framework to revert back to, similarly to like a prenup or something, like just something to revert back to that just tells us what our MO is, what our game plan is, what we agreed to before we started this journey together.
Yeah, the difference with a prenup is that you throw that in front of him before the two of you get married. You're waiting on purpose to show him that list, so if he doesn't agree or sign that contract, the only option left for him would be to file for divorce.
It's really important to me that before we make this huge life-altering decision together, I have communicated my expectations. He understands my expectations, and hopefully this will lead to us resenting each other a lot less. I'm sure there will still be a learning curve, but hopefully by giving him a list and talking him through the list and helping him to understand why these things are things, the dialogue will have been opened. He will be more prepared to like understand what I'm going through throughout motherhood, and he'll just be more aware and cognizant of like what he should be doing.
He will need to understand, he will be more prepared, and he will be more aware of what he should be doing. If I were him, I would really reconsider my options when it comes to marrying you. But that's just me, let me know what you guys think.
When you find out your ex is on a dating site, it is unbelievably painful. But I want to remind you of something, because it's so easy to believe that when they're on dating sites, they're going to be going out on amazing dates and meeting the love of their life, and they're going to get over you like this. Let me remind you of what dating sites are actually like. He is probably going to get ghosted. He is probably going to get catfished. He is probably going to have the same boring conversation over and over again, asking how your day is. he is probably not going to be meeting people if he's getting any matches at all. I know it's unbelievably painful. However, everybody needs time to heal from a breakup. Everybody needs time to process the things that have happened. They need time to learn from their mistakes. They need to learn from the mistakes of their ex-partner. So, while they're running off, chasing people, having a on dating sites, because they will be, I want you to keep focusing on yourself and working on yourself and see who ends up better in the end.
Not you. You wanted to remind us something, I would like to remind you something. The only way you found out about your ex being on a dating site is by you being on that dating site. So you can forget about all that healing, about you doing all that better, because you are on a dating app just like he is. The amount of time it took him to be back on dating apps is the exact same amount of time it took you to be back on dating apps. Because the two of you did broke up at the same time, right? Oh, but let me guess, it took less time for you to get all healed up, not to mention to do so much better than him.
Went for a job interview today and she told me she had 3 openings. Apparently, how many did you get filled at the weekend wasn't an appropriate response. My guess is she didn't get any. That's why she was a grumpy bitch.
Yeah, it could be either that or she didn't want to turn her business into an OF site. Oh gee, I wonder if you got the job or not. I wouldn't bet money you did.
75% of divorces are initiated by women because it was finally legalized to not be owned by men. There is a reason why women do not want to be around men, because they try to own them. And y'all did this for centuries. You didn't give women the right to vote. You didn't give the woman a right to her own body. We're seeing that in real time right now. And no wonder women want to get away from you, because you don't really have anything to offer other than your control. A man would want to get married because men will continue to pay for schmecks from women. You guys want something from us. That's the funniest part, is we could go our whole lives without you if you just let us have the freedom or equality, because to you guys, us wanting equality is us wanting to have an upper hand on you. No, we just want to be equal under the system, but you will always want something from us.
Yeah, you're really not making a good case for yourself. All I bring to the table is control, all you bring to the table is your body. And that's fair enough, but if I want to pay for schmecks, it's always cheaper to pay a stranger than to get married. Believe it or not, it's way more expensive to live with you than paying some complete stranger. And yeah, 75% of divorces being filed by women has nothing to do with in 73 you couldn't have a bank account. Because we're not talking about those women, we're talking about women today. Women that are in their 20s or 30s filing for divorce. You being able to file for divorce has not been finalized just now. It's been around for a while. And if everything you said was true about women not wanting anything to do with men, then why are so many of them getting married?
Guys will tell me a lot that they're like, oh my gosh, I just like you because you're like pretty, but you like actually have a personality. It's so hard to find a girl that's pretty and actually has a personality. And I'm like, okay, tag you're it. Where's yours? Because it's never both. They're never cute with the personality, you know? So tag you're it. You try it. How about that?
Well, in my defense, I'm not cute. Also, in my defense, maybe my personality is harder to find because I only have one. If out all of your 17th I can't find one, then, well, you know, at least you're pretty.
Every time a man says type shit, all I can think of is the fact that that is the male version of period. Like, all he's saying is, period.
Like, OMG, I must have said something really smart. I'm so proud of myself. I'm gonna use that as an excuse. I'm gonna watch Titanic for no other reason than to have something to cry about, and then I'm gonna be rude to people and start yelling at them for no reason. If anyone asks, I'm gonna say period.
The whole time.
I believed it was gonna work. Well, now you know. But anyway, this is gonna be it for today. As always, I do hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still appreciate you for making it this far. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.